We're good here, so let's go.
I'll stop
with
playing
this.
with tape. It's like my favorite thing in the world, playing with tape, and it ruins the podcast. Go figure.
I know, your nervous habit or whatever, your tick.
Yeah, it's not really nervous, but
it's like having Tourette's, but instead of like grunting or cursing,
I'm not like fuck.
With tape.
Like I'm not like fuck.
You're like, you start talking.
Like,
oh, we go everywhere with this podcast, man. We pick on people with Tourette's, like freaking diseases. Like,
yeah.
You have lupus.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm so ill, my hair's falling out. Yeah.
Yeah, these sick
so
people.
Funny, so funny. Yeah, terminal cancer patients. You're gonna die soon. Like,
I saw your St. Jude's commercial and I laughed and laughed and laughed.
It was hilarious. Did you see those losers about to die?
Jesus Christ. We're hitting all new lows.
Yeah, that's
Episode
true.
44.
Yeah. Kiara stayed over here on Sunday night, which was really fun.
Yeah, that's great. Her version of the story was the parents were not happy about going to the rodeo, that they were grumpy the whole time.
So yeah. First of all, I didn't realize the dad hates the rodeo, full
Really?
stop. Like, I love the rodeo. I think it's super fun. It's like one of my favorite things that happens in Houston. I want to go many times throughout the rodeo season because there's a lot to do. This is the first time I've gone to like the full rodeo part where they're like the actual competition. Like,
you did the mom version of the rodeo instead of the fun.
Well, yeah. I'm really glad that we did the mom version though, because usually I just kind of go in and out of like the competitive part. I don't think I'd ever seen the bull riding, for example. Like, because you need to like know where to be for these things. But these commentators were like the snarkiest. Like every single person that went, they had some like underhanded joke about everybody, like or like weird comment that you're just like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, they're like, this guy, did great last night. We'll see if he keeps it going in a good direction. He's like, oh, nope, that's moving in the wrong direction. Like, whatever. Like, the guy can hear you. Like, that's the... I don't know.
And, it's weird to have that commentary live.
Yeah. I know.
What other sport is like?
I love it. Like, I'm super glad that these guys are being such jerks. They're like, yeah, watch this guy. Ha! That's kind of like the vibe, which was awesome.
Can you imagine if other sports like had this going on where they're like, all right, and the quarterback steps back to pass. Nope, there's a handoff to the running back number 10. Too bad he's not very fast. Oh, he got smashed.
Yep, as usual.
As usual, this clown. I don't. Can you believe they traded for him? Like, that's the $10 million contract down the tubes, Cleveland fans.
Totally, yeah. Like, whoops, wish we hadn't drafted that one, huh? Keep thinking this every single game. I guess his glory days are done.
I heard his girlfriend's in the stands. But she's crying now.
I don't know.
Oh, and look, Chuck, he's going to the hospital. I guess this kid's career just might be over.
Yeah. Good news for Cleveland. Like,
yeah. Too bad we still got to pay off his contract.
Exactly.
But I guess he'll need it now that he lives in a wheelchair. I heard his kid's at St. Jude, that loser.
Yeah, maybe you guys will die soon, like close to each other. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's so fun.
Guess he'll get to spend more time with his kids at St. Jude's.
Yeah. Too bad your dad's a vegetable now, kid. Ha.
At least you'll get to. Yeah, at least he'll die first. Unlike some of these childhood cancers.
Right.
It's not right for parents to bury their kids. So we've solved that for you.
Yes, exactly.
And now, the Robert and Kalyn podcast will move on to making fun of burn victims. Look at that guy. His wife doesn't even recognize him.
Man, everybody had like names that you're like, is this a real name? It seemed like if you're going to write a movie about rodeo, these are all the names you'd pick. And I don't know if that's just how things are.
Tanner Wagon Wheel.
Yeah, seriously. So, like, okay, so...
Cooper.
There's lots
Jordan.
of Coopers. There's lots of Cooper. There's lots of Tanners. Cooper James.
Yeah.
Mason Moody, Stetson Wright, Brody Yearly. There's some that just were unbelievable.
So who's the villain? Who's the villain in this movie?
I don't know. There's two brothers with the last name Frost, right?
Oh, the Frost brothers.
Yes.
Oh my God, we've been trying for years to.
Yeah. One is named Jacek, Jacek, Jacek Frost, and his brother Jate Frost. And I'm like, it sounds like you're just really trying to name yourself something very close to, but not quite Jack Frost. Like
Jack Frost. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Look out, there's Jate Frost. He's the baddest.
There's Jate Frost. Yeah.
Steer roper and this is like the worst. We just wrote the worst rodeo movie ever.
Maverick Smith.
Oh, Maverick, my
Creek
man.
Young. Roscoe Jarbo.
Roscoe, get on over here.
Yeah.
Roscoe.
Hawk Wit.
Roscoe, we gotta beat the Frost brothers. Give that bull an extra dose of the shockitude. No, Cooper, I can't do it. You can't do it. You'll never survive.
Waylon Bergeau, Cole Reiner.
What about the girls? You got Daisies and Leanne. You got a lot of Leannes.
There was one that I just loved her name so much. Jordan Joe Devereaux. That was one.
Jordan Joe
Devereaux. I
love
Here she comes. Yeah. I'm like, man. Carolee Otero. Oh, yeah. This is another good one. Brittany Posey Otozi. Like, I'm like, my God, you chose the middle name so that it would be all rhymey with the last name.
So it would rhyme with the last name.
Yeah, Brittany Posey Otozi. Here she comes. Mom's just very like, okay, we're going from this to like, she wants to have the whole day completely plotted out. She's like, okay, Kalyn, you want to see the mutton busting, which is like my favorite thing in the world at the rodeo.
Mutton busting?
Yeah. So it's like, if you're a 5 or 6 year old, you can sign up to like be strapped to a sheep, and then they send them like running down this like little arena, and like so fun.
Dang, why is this reserved for the 6-year-olds?
I know, that's what I said. I was like, man, how much would I have to pay somebody to let me jump on one of these sheep? And like, sheep are really stupid too. Like there'll be a whole bunch at one end just like walking around doing nothing, and like when they release the one with the kid, it'll like just run full speed and not pump the brakes at all, just run directly into like a crowd of sheep. Or like try to jump over like the barricade with the kid on there sometimes, and it's so fun. The kids find it like super terrifying for the most part. Like sometimes they cry the whole way. They're like the whole way down, and I just love it. I love it. It's hilarious. It's so fun. They give them scores and whatever, and like they read about each kid. They're like, okay, here's Robert. His favorite animal at the rodeo is the monkey, and when he grows up, he wants to be a ceramic engine creator and whatever. Then they set him loose, and like some of them are like not about it at all. I don't know. It's just really fun. Like it's
fantastic.
Yeah. Like Mom had told Kiara like, oh, it would be better if you wear jeans. This was like the hottest day that Kiara's here, and like I told Kiara I'd give her shorts because she doesn't have that many, and Kiara found some that she liked, but she was like, I've been told that it's better if I wear jeans. And I'm like, why is it better if you wear jeans on like this super hot day? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but
because you would have worn the shorts just to piss off Mom, but back in your day.
But yeah, and then I would have been like, I'm freaking glad I wore these shorts since I'm sweating my dick off. Like, but and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just be flexible. Mom has a clear path that she wants us to be on for the day, and like that's what we're gonna do. Like, I don't care. And
it's a very different rodeo experience than you would have had with
I was like,
among a group of friends or something.
Right, yeah, because usually I go on like the most laid back version of going to the rodeo. It's like, hey, do you guys want to ride rides first? Do you want to go like check stuff out? We just wander around and see what we see, and then like we'll go inside and watch some, the calves.
And this is like where we got to get to the mutton busting.
We have to be here and then here and then here and then here and then like.
By the way, the concert that like everybody wants to go to, not us.
No, we didn't go to that. No way. No,
not a chance.
No, but yeah. And then they were like mad that like I wanted to get food because I hadn't eaten. And it's like, we're there all day. And I was like, okay.
And the food's part of the deal. You're supposed to eat the corn dogs and the funnel cakes and the whatever nonsense.
Right. I was like, man, and nobody's thirsty. We've been like sweating, getting over to like where the road. So it was like, fine. I went and got like some loaded fries. And I was like, what does loaded fries come with? They're like, anything you want. And I was like, what? Like, anything I want. Like, I could just be like, put on a corn dog and like some onions.
Buffalo meat.
I want some ice on there too. And like, yeah,
banana
throw on all
bread
the sauces.
and sour
Like,
cream. I will not make you a banana bread. Not loaded fries. I will ruin my reputation.
Yeah. Put some cottage cheese on there if you've got that. I really like cottage cheese. Like...
Anything. You can have it.
Anything
if
you
we
want.
don't have it, we'll go get it. We got a
We're
runner
go
right here.
Yeah.
He's ready to go over
we got radios, and we're like, Eagle to Red Beaver. We need cottage cheese. Do you copy? Like, whatever.
Cottage cheese coming right up. There you go. All right.
Yeah. And so I got that, which was like not very big, right?
Yeah.
And
$20.
2 drinks.
Yeah.
2 drinks.
$30.
And, that was $40.
Whew.
Yeah. And then like, so I brought it in and of course shared it. I mentioned to Dad how much it was when we left. And he's like, now I feel guilty about eating any of it. I'm like, you don't need to feel guilty about eating it. I was like, here, do you want some? I'm not.
We know the drill.
Right. And like, we got the shittiest seats possible. Like, literally, like we were on like the top level, which is fine because whatever. I don't think it would make that big a difference. They have the big screens. So
are there like
see
assigned seats? Because I thought it'd be just totally come and go, maybe with zones or something like.
So yeah, they have properly assigned seats, but we didn't like sit in our exact assigned seats because during the rodeo nobody cares. But then during the concert, the concert people care. I mean, we could have sat down like on the lower deck, I think, during the rodeo,
right?
And been just fine. So Mom and Dad, of course, were fretting about that nonstop because even though we're on the we're supposed to be in row R of this section, and like we sit in row B, whatever, because like there's nobody else there, and like so like Mom and Dad are like, oh, I don't know, should we go to our seats? And I was like, no, if people come and they want these exact seats, we'll just move down 4 people. Like,
you see all these empty seats, the sea of empty seats next to us.
We are surrounded by nothing. Like, you know, so yeah, we'll just move over. But then like
these seats, these are the ones you want, huh? You gotta be in these seats. Well, that's what's on our ticket, ma'am.
Yeah, right.
Don't make me get the freaking usher, you know.
Yeah.
I have one order of business before we kick off the podcast, but you know, Janice has stated a couple times now that she would like to be on the podcast. I have no idea.
Janice is like, why are you guys blackballing me on the podcast?
No, yeah, she's like,
let me be
on the podcast. I want to be on the podcast. I mean, and most other people are like, okay.
Right.
You know, but Janice really wants to be, so I mean, yeah, all right.
Why not?
Yeah. We just would have to nail down a time in advance and be good about it.
Sure. I've been better about the schedule.
I feel like we have an episode in the past where you had like a flip chart page or something, and it was here's all the 5 things I'm going to do every day to make myself feel better about myself or something along these lines.
Yes.
And it has gone the way of the dodo, I imagine.
And I'm like, forget it. Who cares? I'll just feel bad about myself. That's better. It's easier to just feel like, man, I suck. Than to like fix
That's way
things.
better.
I don't know. He's so much better. So much better.
Well, listen, Kalyn, at least you're not a cancer patient at St. Jude's.
Those stupid cancer patients. They got cancer. They're so stupid.
Suck it, cancer patients.
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Like, get it together.
All right. We've hit rock bottom, Kalyn. I think that's our cue to kick off the episode.
Kick
all
it
right.
up. Yeah,
Let's cue the music. You are listening to Robert and Kalyn Get Rich. Today is March 12th, 2025. It is a Wednesday. This is episode 44. 44. Man, it's amazing how fast it goes. Yeah, exactly. The over-under when we started was about 7, so make it to 44.
Yeah, I mean, right. You looked at the stats once, and I think we're in the 95th percentile now of number of episodes.
And I think we're in the first percentile of number of listeners, so,
Yeah.
But we don't do it for them, do we, Kalyn? We do it because we have fun.
Yeah, we do it for us. This is for us.
Us and Justin.
Yeah, and Spicy Nuts.
And I would say Janice, but I don't even think she listens. She just wants to be on the podcast. She might not even know what the topic is. I don't know.
She's just like, I want to be on a podcast. I don't know any topic.
Well, listen, if you're not one of those people and you like this show, First of all, rate and subscribe and give us a thumbs up and share with your friends, please. But also put something in the comments and just tell us who you are. And we will announce the name of every person who writes their name in the comments this week. We'll do it next week. That's our commitment to you. And one thing about us, Kalyn, we always come through on our commitments.
That's true. Absolutely.
Some of the time. Sometimes.
Yeah. Unless it's like tough or like just feel like being lazy.
Or you have to like stick with something.
Yeah,
or like,
then it's like, who knows?
Get
Maybe
bored
I'll
of
do
it.
Yeah.
So,
or just like have something else to do.
Barring any of those circumstances, we will read your name if you put it in the comments. Make up a name.
Yeah.
Have it be somebody else. Don't make us at Kamala Harris again. Jesus. So. Anyway.
Yeah.
We won't do that. And the other thing we won't do is
provide investment or financial advice.
Right. Which I don't know why we bothered to even say that either.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Legal advice, life advice, that stuff. We're all over that. But
yeah. All right. So let's check in on portfolios. Exciting portfolio update here today, Kalyn, because I created a new portfolio that I want to tell you about.
Is it stuff we got rid of?
No, well, I haven't gotten rid of anything because we never like reach a conclusion. We just talk about stuff.
I mean, if you're waiting on me to tell us to sell, then like obviously that's not going to happen.
Talking to the wrong girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, just keep it. It doesn't matter that it's done absolutely nothing.
Well, let's just start with the S&P baseline for a change of pace.
Oh, okay.
Because,
like that.
All right. S&P, like, I don't know. I know I'm your only source of news, but I got to believe you've heard about these tariffs and everything Donald Trump is doing to make me lose all my money. This S&P is up 0.5% today. If you had invested in the S&P starting day one of this podcast, you would now be down 1% 44 episodes ago.
We had been up like 10% and rough.
I think maybe the S&P had been up like 8% total. Well, anyway, so we're still winning. We're still beating them.
Thank God.
But we were up 18% at one time. Well, wait, just hold your hat. We're now up 3%.
Oh.
And
dang.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And our Tesla short is doing great, and our Amentum short is doing great somehow, despite our best efforts to not do that.
Fannie Mae still doing okay?
Oh, I was going to tell you, it is buy time for Fannie Mae. My buy in the 5s, sell in the 7s. It went as low as $4.80 or something.
Man.
I was like, I almost texted you, go buy some Fannie Mae.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so now it's at 571. So it's definitely buy time. That'll bounce up to 7 something for sure. For sure, guys.
Yeah.
So the first day these tariffs go on, right? I get a call from friend of the podcast, Justin, and Justin tells me, "Listen," and he's like frantic, like I think he was on coke probably, but anyway, and he's like, "Dude, here's the thing about these tariffs." It's all a conspiracy. Trump is hooking up his buddies. He's going to tank the stock market, and then he's going to take the tariffs back off, and his buddies are all going to make a bunch of money when the tariffs come back off. So go out there, go find the biggest losers today and invest in those, and you're going to make a ton of bucks. So I went and created the Justin Tariff portfolio.
I like it. Yeah.
And he's lost 2%, and it was Best Buy. W is Whirlpool, Wayfair.
W is Wayfair.
W is Wayfair, and WHR is Whirlpool, and then KKR is KKR, which is an investing like hedge fund or investment bank. So they are still down quite a bit, 2%, except for KKR has done okay, but the rest are down quite a bit. But let's see how they did in comparison to the Justin baseline, which is all S&P. The S&P has been down 3% over this time. So to his credit, he is beating the S&P. And also to his credit, not all the tariffs are off the table yet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, when are all the tariffs going to come off the table?
Well, whenever Donald Trump feels like it. This is all at the whim of Donald Trump.
Maybe he's got some grand plan, I guess.
I continue to go back and forth. So sometimes I hear these guys talking and they stitch the pieces together of like how it's a big realignment opposing China. And I just can't wrap my head around like, is Trump a genius or is he crazy or both?
Both, know? Probably both. So, like, why is China the problem? I mean, like, I'm not saying they're not, but, like, why is China bad and Russia's okay right now?
I think it's all economy. So Russia has no chance of threatening us from an economic standpoint, but China is the world's largest economy, I think. Yeah. And they can like take all our jobs, and they seem to have no problem stealing our technology and making all that too.
Well, yeah, they don't. I've heard that they like basically don't believe in intellectual property. Like, that's not a thing in China.
It's sort of like in some countries, you stop at red lights. And in some countries, a red light's you
do what you want. Like, lanes are kind of suggestions.
Yeah. I mean, here in the United States, in some cities, you stop at crosswalks. In some cities, you use crosswalk like a yield symbol.
Not Houston.
Not Houston.
Crosswalks?
No.
Fuck them.
I will tell you, in the Midwest, man, you stop at crosswalks.
Yeah.
It's like you're at an intersection, not a car in sight. In any of the four directions, you have zero chance of getting hit by a car at this intersection. I mean, imagine Mom. This is the environment she was raised in. I promise you, in Milwaukee, you stop at the crosswalk even if there's no cars coming.
Man, that's wild. I think you're kind of crazy to drive in some of those countries. Maybe in all countries where we don't have like the exact same rules. Like, I can't imagine driving in England, really, where we're driving on the opposite side of the street.
Yeah.
And, like,
takes
they
some
also
getting
have
used
like
to.
weird the zigzag things on the streets, and I'm like, what the fuck is this zigzag thing? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
Like,
I've driven over them too. It means there's going to be a ticket coming in the mail about 6 months after your vacation. I think so.
Right? I went back to Italy after you and I went my freshman year. Like, me and Nick went, and we flew in and out of Rome, went around Italy, and like, we decided to rent a moped at one point in Rome. Yeah. He has never in his life at this point driven a moped. I have never been on a moped. But the guy's like, you've driven this before, right? And he's like, yeah, totally. And like,
well, would I be here if I hadn't?
We rented, and Nick's supposed to like drive it around the block or something, like in front of the guy, and Nick like almost drives it first into a car, then into like a tree. I'm standing there with the guy, and he's like, he's driven this before? And I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely, this is just the way he drives, you know. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. And I'm like, I'm about to get on the back of this thing with this guy, like, oh well, it'll be fine, I've had a good life. Like, you know,
Italian hospitals are above average.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought maybe today we might deep dive on Hyatt hotels at letter H ticker symbol. It's been a while. Maybe as if you survive your drive on your moped or the city streets of Paris and you want to stay at a Hyatt. I thought one place I might start. So you remember last time we talked about Hyatt Select, and we weren't kind of having trouble making sense of who they targeted and all that. Right. Like, what's the target market here, and help me understand what a Hyatt Select is. I thought this article that they put out really helped a lot. They announced their first conversion-friendly transient brand in the upper mid-scale segment in the Americas. And it complements their upper mid-scale extended stay brand Hyatt Studios, which just opened in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah. Conversion-friendly transient brand.
Yeah. So before, I mean, last week we knew it was an upper mid-scale, but now we know that it's conversion-friendly transient.
Right. Conversion-friendly transient.
So researching Hyatt, I was like, a couple weeks ago, we looked at Genpack, and they're talking about AI, consumer, you know.
Yeah, that can,
I'm like, I don't get it. Give me something simple to understand. Like, I feel like a hotel's I could get it. And I'm like,
we should be able to understand this.
So much to my chagrin, I pull up their quarterly investor presentation. And I'm like, okay, so tell me how many rooms, like how full were your rooms and what did you charge, you know? And, you know, I get, you know, it's 79% asset light earnings mix. I'm like, okay, cool. And we got asset dispositions and shareholder returns. This is all good.
What are asset dispositions versus asset light dispositions?
Well, asset light acquisitions. So So they sold $15.6 billion worth of assets, but then they acquired $4.1 billion of. They bought these brands. Look at all these brands they added last year. So
Standard, which is upside down. That's really
how they
weird.
do things at the Standard.
They're like, ha.
Well, there's two Standard. This one's the Standard too, which is an upside down cross. I think, or Ek. I'm like, that's kind of weird. This one here. See, here's the standard.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay, here we are. The rooms. So we're up 7.8% in rooms, and then we're up 4.6% in RevPAR. Which I'm like, I've never spent as much time and all these other things, and I've never spent as much time in the glossary section of the investor presentation. So RevPAR is the product of ADR and the average daily occupancy percentage. So I'm like, okay. So now we got to look up ADR, and ADR is the average daily rate. Okay, cool. Now I got it. Yeah. We average $200 a night, right? And then occupancy is our percentage occupancy. So, hey, if we're 50% full, $200 a night, perfect. Times the number of rooms, we can get to revenue, right? And we can show that we're growing. So, so we've not only grown the number of rooms, we've grown the average revenue. I think this is like revenue per room, basically. So, so that's good. Yeah. Like if you're only growing because you're adding rooms or you're, I don't know, right? All right. So what we obviously what we need is we got to dive into the 10K, right? We got to go all the way to the source here. This was the part of the 10K that I thought was really helpful.
What does the 10K mean again? Like I know it mean the 10K is what they submit to.
It's the annual report that they submit to the SEC. Yeah.
SEC. Yeah. Okay.
So what was really helpful, you remember we had those bands of how high, and we had upper mid scale, and we're like, where does this fit? So now they have them listed, their brands in order, and then like how many rooms they have under how many are managed, franchised, and owned and leased, which I don't know what that means. But I thought now we can see that it's luxury and then upper upscale. And then luxury all inclusive, and then upper upscale all inclusive, and then upper upscale. We're really into upper upscale here at Hyatt. And then upscale, and then upper mid scale. So I think our upper mid scale Hyatt Select are gonna be kind of at the bottom of the, they're kind of. For Hyatt, that's kind of the redheaded stepchild, but
we're filling in the garbage hotels in our portfolio now because
it's still upper. We still cut the line off at upper mid scale. These are still these are the dumbest kids at MIT or something. But anyway,
we'll soon add just upscale or lower upscale.
Yeah,
I like how we put here's the brand. This is our luxury portfolio. Or maybe this is only our luxury portfolio.
Yeah, here's luxury portfolio. Then the lifestyle. These are the bands.
Oh, I see them. I got it now.
I don't know how these are luxury in the lifestyle band.
Yeah, they're like our shitty luxury stuff.
And upper upscale. Well, yeah, but I mean, we got Andaz there. Leisure. Yeah. And
that's it. Right. They're
and then inclusive.
The great best house on a bad block there.
Not like this Hyatt Selection or I mean, nice to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. You know what I mean? There's just so many brands. It's like what this world needs is more brands of hotels.
Totally.
That's what Jim Chu told us last week, and I have big Jim Chu news here.
Who's Jim Chu?
You were Jim Chu last week. He was the chief growth officer.
Oh, yes, that's right. How could I forget?
How could I forget my alter ego? But we have senior leadership changes at Hyatt so that we will be more brand focused, okay? Since we've got these 35 brands or some damn thing, and so we've got to be more focused on there. So so we hired this cat, Mark J. Sheet. He's going to be in charge of Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. And then the guy who was there, Javier, we moved him over to become the chief growth officer, which, in addition to being president of the Inclusive Collection. And then Jim Chu, who was our chief growth officer, is now becoming the head of owner relations to bring even more focus and dedication to this important stakeholder group.
That sounds like a step down.
I couldn't.
You got demoted.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, I mean, you went from being a C person to being a head of owner relations.
Oh, from a chief. Yeah. Maybe he should have negotiated harder, huh? He should have been like.
So. I think he should have consulted with us about this for sure before he agreed to anything.
Hey, Jim, come on in here. I got to talk to you real quick.
Yep.
We're thinking about. I mean, now don't take this the wrong way, but we're thinking about making a few moves around here, a few changes. Okay, so
naturally.
So all right. I'm spitballing here. Just hold with me for a second.
All right.
What if instead of chief growth officer, let's say we made you, I don't know, head of owner relations, something like that? I'm thinking head of owner relations.
Very unhappy with how I've done so far.
No, Jim. You know we love you. We love you. You've been with us 32 years. I mean, my dad,
something like that. Yeah,
hired you.
This business, right. My dad,
and I mean, we love. I mean, listen. I mean, ever since Betty brought the cherry cheesecake to the Christmas party, I mean,
Betty does make a mad cherry cheesecake.
She's been. She's been like this. You guys are like family to us, like family, and you're crushing it. I mean, you launched Hyatt Regency. You launched,
that's right.
Or Hyatt. What was it again, Jim? Hyatt Select.
The Hyatt Select,
And that other one we have in Mobile. We're like fucking, Like you're fucking crushing the Mobile market, Jim. Crushing it.
Right.
So, but what we thought would make us even we got to take your talents and like if we could lever them even more effectively, we could have you be head of owner relationships. What, Jim? Floor is yours. Go
How about
ahead.
Chief of owner relationships.
Well, okay, Jim. So here's the
head
thing.
chief.
Here's the thing about had to get this cat Mark Jahit and he wanted to be a chief. He's going to be chief of Europe, Asia, Middle East.
He's chief of growth over there, though. That's different than here.
Well, he's Javier. We're taking Javier and we're moving him over, and he's going to be chief growth officer.
I like how you're representing the minorities still. That's good. Javier in the house. But,
minority brethren. Well, Mark Jahid, he's as white as white gets.
Right, yeah.
But that was, we looked around the C-suite and we're like, kind of short of white guys all of a sudden. And,
I just think that keeping the chief title, I mean, I guess it is unorthodox to have a chief of owner relations, a COR.
We workshopped it. We put it on a business card. It didn't quite like the letters kind of spilled over.
We had a group of our owners meet and we're like, so which would you rather interact with, a chief of owner relationships or a head of owner relations? Like, right. And they were like, chief seems very hoity-toity. Like, I don't know if I want to interact with some like fancy pants person I'll never be able to get in touch with.
When I got a guy come to a meeting of owner relations, like I don't want him to feel like he's like
he's better than all of us.
Yeah, like he's a chief. He's sitting on a throne. Right. We're in a teepee or something.
Yeah, a teepee,
some shit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna go to the wigwam, see the Indian cat. Nope, he's Asian.
Yep. I guess I could get used to it if there's a.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jim. We got all right. We're gonna write
salary,
this.
Though, right?
We're gonna have to have a little separate salary meeting, Jim. I mean, the salary's one. Okay, probably the salary pretty good.
It will drop down like 50%, 80% down from what you were making.
But the bonus potential, you got to understand, like owner relations isn't chief revenue.
Is this a sales job then?
Like, no, it's more like a relations job. Like where you gotta kind of salesy, kind
of salesy.
Yeah, you gotta keep the owners like not quitting and like when we sue one because they open a Ramada and
right. We open a Ramada.
You'll be part of that. You'll be you gotta like smooth over the relationship.
But okay, so But I'll have a bunch of people underneath me who will do all that stuff.
It turns out that owner relation, it doesn't like take that many people.
We don't have that many.
We didn't have one before, so like.
Right.
One person,
Is this me getting pushed out slowly?
No, Jim. I told you, Jim. You're like family. You're like.
I mean, yeah, Hyatt Select did represent a whole new segment
Jim,
of our lower
Hyatt
luxury,
Select.
upper economy.
Jim, Hyatt Select, genius, man. We haven't seen that kind of genius since the Standard upside down. Right. Yeah. I mean, that and the Mobile market taking the.
It's been really dying for some more hotels.
Yeah, I mean, you went in there and
I'm going to Mobile.
You turned the Mobile market around, Jim. You crushed it there. Crushed it. We went from 0 to 1. That's infinity growth. We said, Jim, you're the growth officer. Go grow, and you grew the Mobile market.
And you grew.
Yes, and you grew.
And I've grown so much that I just need to manage the growth that I've found. Right?
Yeah. Well, yes.
We're full. At capacity.
Yeah, you're picking up the.
America.
We're gonna grow a few more. I mean, we're gonna keep growing. I mean, we have to. That's what we do.
That's where the Javier and that Gisette guy,
Mark Jahit. Yeah, I mean Javier. I mean, let me tell you, Jim. Javier's got some just bang up ideas for growth. I mean, just capital suggestions. Right. Javier's thinking about brands in like the mid scale, and like I mean, I brought him in.
Who are we here at Hyatt if we're representing the lower mid scale?
Well, we're not gonna call them Hyatts. We're gonna have new brands. Yeah. I brought Javier in, and I was like, Javier, give me some growth ideas, and I was blown up. Javier's
like, we could have hotels anywhere. Think about that. Like, all over the place.
Not just Mobile.
Not just Mobile. Like, in any city. Lots of cities. Yeah. Like, and we could have lots of hotels in one city.
And then I was like, Javier, I'm thinking about brands. We're becoming more brand-centric. So, Javier, you're the chief growth. You think we need, like, more brands or fewer brands? What are your thoughts?
Yes.
That wasn't a yes or no question, Javier. Like, more or fewer?
No comprende. No.
Sophia, could you come in here?
Sí, Sofía.
Mucho.
Javier, ¿dónde? Mucho brando. Nada brando.
Nada
brando más.
He's like. I still don't get you, boss.
Gracias, Sofia. We need mucho brando in the lower segments, but I don't want to have to be working side by side with Jim Chu.
Jim Chu, yeah.
Jim Chu.
I like that gat so little. I don't even bother to learn his name.
Yeah, he's got dumb ideas. Like,
did you hear what he did with the Hyatt Select?
That's the only thing he did last year. Like, that guy's doing nothing. All he does is talk to owners.
Yeah, but Javier, Jim, he's been with us 32 years. He's like family. Yeah. Like, what are we going to do with him?
Just like put him in charge of just talking to the owners, like, oh, hey guys, how's it going, owners?
So like chief of owner relations, chief.
Come on, he's not a chief. I'm a chief. Like, obviously, I've got C-suite written all over me, but that guy, I don't even know. It's clear nepotism that he even got the C job to begin with, but yeah.
Okay, so we should probably make a decision about
Hyatt.
Yeah,
Hyatt's a pass for me. I'm not excited about it. Like, if they weren't gonna demote that guy,
Jim Chu after his great work,
then I'd be all over it. Yeah.
All right. I agree. Like I'm definitely nervous about the state of the economy. So, like, investing in hotels and leisure resorts and things that are tied to.
Right. We're not even looking at the economy segment. We're looking at only luxury and upper.
I mean, they're probably the ones that are. It doesn't matter what the economy does. The rich people still want to spend a bunch of money, but
I don't know. I just don't even know any of their luxury brands that well. But I guess I don't really have my ear to the ground on like luxury hotels. Certainly not. I mean, like Four Seasons and like
you've never stayed in an Leela.
I have not. No.
I still don't even understand what like the lifestyle band even mean. What does this even mean? Yeah, they're obviously upscale mostly, but
some of them said like what people do there is like business and
leisure.
Something else.
Was not you doing all hotels? Like business and leisure.
One would think, that's pretty much it. But I guess not at an all inclusive. I think that's like just leisure. I don't know. I think of those being like in the islands or whatever.
Yeah,
Jamaica,
maybe they are.
Stay in an all
I don't know. If you're like, what's a lifestyle hotel? I'd be like, well, it's either like for gay people or funky people, the W is like probably or like old retired people that want to play pickleball on their vacation or
a lifestyle hotel. I don't know that there's that many hotels that are like that many like we're gay.
I have no trouble envisioning a resort dedicated to gay people, like in Cancun or something.
Yeah, there's definitely hotels and stuff dedicated to gay people, but
if Hyatt's involved,
like the boutique hotels, is that like, so the Standard, I just Googled that because I'm like, why is this like this? Why is the Standard so weird? Yeah, they say it's a group of 8 boutique hotels in New York City, London, Miami Beach, Maldives, Ibiza, Bangkok, and Hua Hin, Thailand.
I would think you would get rid of that brand over time, name them something else.
But like people like boutique.
True.
I think boutique hotels are kind of fun, but I don't really get what makes these special.
And why is there 2 Standard? Now you're reading the
right that had the cross and one, and then the other.
The one was just
is for Satan worshippers, and then the other is for just everybody else who's.
That's a lifestyle, I suppose. This was another Jim Chu idea. All right, I thought of this whole segment we haven't addressed. Boss, JB, come here. I got to tell you about this segment.
I've been thinking a lot about what religions our patrons tend to fall into. Yeah. One I think we've overlooked too many times.
Yeah.
Are the Satan worshippers, the Wiccans.
I don't know. Have you done your research here? Have you found out like how many Satan worshippers there are that want to go to New York City?
I met with my wife's coven this weekend, and she said that, when traveling to New York for the Grand Coven Symposium, that they're hoping to stay at a hotel that's very friendly to their lifestyle. And I was like, man, have we really branched into this area? So, yeah.
Like the one thing. When I come to New York City, I love it. I can cast spells. I can do incantations and chants and stuff. But then I go to this hotel and they're like, there's a no incantation policy. I'm like, fuck!
You can't be burning sage in here. Like, we don't sell frozen newts and or blood of a virgin, like we don't have that for sale in our little
well, can I bring my dog? Yeah, Jesus, even the dogs can come, but I can't do an incantation.
I've got 17 cats. Is that okay? Because they're very important to us witches and warlocks to have our cats.
Man, we've got a no seance policy
for our
here.
Brooms? No seance policy.
You're going classic, like freaking. Where are you guys headquartered? Salem, Massachusetts. Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
The Standard. That's the cross that these guys are like hung upside down on. So
totally.
Yeah. Set on fire.
I don't know.
All right. It is time. We have reached that time, Kalyn.
Well, how are our friends doing? We didn't look at our friends' portfolio.
They suck. It's sucking. Guest portfolio. The guests have eaten it the way that everybody else has eaten it, only worse. So they continue to be in last place.
Yeah.
So far, they have made a total of, they've lost $200 on their $4,000 investment, and they have $18 in cash on the sideline. So yeah, we made some cash. And as always, the culprit is Pulte Homes, and no sign of getting better. All right, here's what the gummy bear looks like with 7 sessions, including today, yet to go. Our weight is exactly 1 pound, 5 ounces. And I will begin to chomp while you talk about the effects of tariffs on steel supply.
I was going to tell you about this letter that I found that was written by Grandma Kimmel.
Same thing.
It's very charming. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, dearest Bill, once again, I've convinced myself that I'm a much better writer than you because this is my 9th letter to you and I've only gotten 3. I'll grant you a couple that I haven't received yet. I'm an optimist, and I'll give you a couple because you're busy and I'm not doing a damn thing. But even with those concessions, I'm still way ahead. Aren't you ashamed?
Lay down the law,
Never
Grandma.
mind, I know. If I didn't like to write letters and if I had something else to do, I'd write about half as much just to learn ya.
This was the pre-internet era. And some Tulsa, Oklahoma honky-tonk language.
Yeah, this is from 1944. Nothing much has happened here since I last wrote. Like, at the end of the day, this is like a
Life
letter
is
that
boring
I'm like,
in 1944.
yeah, I'm
also.
like, I don't know that this is worth writing a text message for.
Much less a handwritten 3-page letter.
Yes, 3-page letter.
Life is boring. I'll write you 9 more times before you write me back, you son of a gun.
What the hell? Like, yeah, dude.
Here's how you write about nothing all day.
Yeah. She writes about going to the movies and she doesn't like this actress and they're gonna go play putt-putt. Fun times. She's like, last night I slept outside, so today I'm stiff and can't move and I have a headache. It started raining at about 6 this morning, and there we were stretched out in the middle of the yard. The only time it's rained since I've been home, and it waits till I've decided to sleep in the yard. And I'm like, why did you sleep in the yard anyways? Like, is that like a thing from back in the day? I don't know.
Listen, you heard the woman. There is nothing going on. You can only
like,
play
toss it up and like sleep outside.
You can only play so much putt-putt, okay? And then you got to make your own fun. And the way we do that is sleep in the yard.
Like, yeah. So I love bugs and grass. Creepy crawly
weather
thing.
Getting rained on,
right, like, yeah, I mean, even if it hadn't rained, she'd still be stiff and stuff because you don't have a pillow apparently. Like,
no, we don't have. It's 1944. They didn't have pillows
at all. They didn't exist. Yeah,
they didn't have mattresses. That's why they sleep in the yard, sleep on the floor in the bedroom.
Like, it's all the same. I mean, the grass is probably softer than the wood floors and stuff. Like, like this other part that she's like talking about. I got so tickled today. The twins told June that some boy came by for me yesterday afternoon when they were real worried about it. What it was Vern, Shirley's father, came after me. He just sat in the car and honked, so they couldn't tell how old he was. They thought you had some real competition. And then she's like, well, I'm done, except I want to say I love you, I miss you. You need to come home soon. And then she writes a PS to Glenn Aldridge, who I think is his boss, saying, you're falling down on your duties. You're supposed to make this brute write to me every day.
This brute.
So I'm like, that's fun.
Now, our father was born in 1949, so we're getting pretty close here. Now, I don't know how old they were when they got married.
Pretty young.
Yeah, pretty young.
I don't know how old, do you know their birth years?
No.
I could probably find their obituaries, like... Oh, here's Grandpa. I found him. He was born in 1926. He graduated high school in 1944. So,
so he's in college, I imagine.
Yeah, he entered in World War II, Bill left Roy Rogers School early to join the Navy and was sent to college.
He joined the Navy and they sent him off to college because he had brains enough to become an engineer?
He left high school early, degrees in naval sciences and mechanical engineering.
Wow.
He met the center of his life, Louise Granger, on the porch of his parents' house.
Because he didn't have anything to do either. He didn't even play putt-putt. He's like, I can either hang out on the porch or I can sleep in the yard. And then next thing I know, this like knockout 17-year-old comes by and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, and that I have that book that's like all of her dates, right? Have you seen this? The like hymn book.
You've told me about it.
Yeah. Right. So, like, you fill out this whole page about the guy, and one of the things is, like, what are his hobbies? And hers, what she wrote down for Grandpa was drinking, smoking,
philandering.
Like, I was like, man, his hobby is smoking? Like, that's what I do. Smoke cigarettes. I don't know.
It's quite the hobby, yeah.
And she really, like, kept track. She also was pretty liberal about what she considered a date. Like, there'll be a sheet that you put, like, where we went, who we saw, what we did, whatever. And she'll be like, where we went, nowhere. Who we saw, no one. What we did, nothing. And I'm like, that's a date? That's just like we happened to run into each other. Like,
I'm telling you.
While walking down the street.
I'm telling you. You sleep in the yard, you hang out on the porch.
Yeah, and you're like,
there ain't nothing.
I had a date today.
They're like, they didn't have TV. They didn't have, I got nothing. It's a big deal when like another man drives up in front of the house and you're like, oh my
God. And honks the horn. Everybody's like, oh my God, the relationship is on the rocks now.
The freaking twins go bananas. Or like,
it's like that was just somebody's dad.
Just running around. Yeah. Like, Louise, oh my God.
Oh no.
There's a darn
competition.
Another darn man on that darn car.
Well, yeah, then that's the talk of the town if all we got going on is like seeing the same movie or going to putt-putt or sleeping in the grass. Like then you're like, whoa, somebody drove up. There's another human and interacting with the family.
All right, final weigh in on the gummy bear, 1 pound, 3 ounces. So I had exactly 2 ounces.
Perfect.
Which puts us right on path with 6 to go.
Yeah.
All right, so Kalyn, let's cue the music. You've been listening to Robert and Kalyn Get Rich. Talk about fun times in the 1940s, sleeping in the yard.
40s,
and about
yeah.
how you really make it in the world of middle, mid-scale, upper scale, and luxury hotel brands. We passed on Hyatt today.
Be demoted.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Jim Chu, we feel for you. This episode is dedicated to you, my man. Jim Chu, you're making the best of it.
Definitely know who we're going to hashtag.
Go crush
Jim Chu.
Go crush it in your owner relations job, Jim. Show them you were meant to do this.
Yeah.
And all the rest of you are all meant to like and subscribe to us, so please do. Leave us a comment, send us an email, robertandkalyngetrich@gmail.com. Anything else you want to tell the good people, Kalyn?
Keep it sexy, everybody.
Keep it real sexy, like.
Don't worry about the tariffs too much. Maybe Justin's right and we'll all get super rich because of them.
That's right. Buy you some Fannie Mae. That's what I would do if I was giving advice, but I don't. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, Kalyn,
all right.
time to sign off.
Yep.
Bye-bye.